Hey, Mama. I'm down here. Welcome. My name is Passion King. I'm a postpartum coach, advocate, and author of Postpartum Promises, a mother's guide to identify and overcome postpartum depression. And today I'll be sharing with you 5 ways to identify postpartum depression. So let's get started. And to begin, again, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm your coach. My name is Passion King. I'm a postpartum depression survivor. I struggled with postpartum depression about a, up to a year after my son was born, off and on. He's now 7. But at the time, I remember feeling ashamed. I had suicidal ideation. I was confused. And after I got the courage to share my story, I realized how many other families are suffering in silence. And so I made it my mission to help mothers identify it, overcome it, so we can embrace motherhood. So you are in the right place if you are an expectant mother. Congratulations, how exciting. If you're a new mother, maybe your baby's a couple months old, a couple years old, and you're feeling these feelings and not too sure about what it is. If you're a friend or a family member of a new mother, and definitely if you're a spouse of a new mother, you are in the right place. Welcome. The goals for today, the first one is to gain clarity on what postpartum depression is and also what it is not, because there are some misconceptions about it. The second goal is to share with you tools to help you overcome postpartum depression, and lastly, to provide you with some resources to help you. So I think with anything, the first thing that we have to do is define it, right? So what is postpartum depression? So postpartum depression is defined as depression experienced by a parent following childbirth. I think it's important to notate that we said a parent, right? Not just a mother, because it can go both ways. A lot of people are surprised at that um, fact. And we also want to talk about antenatal depression, also called prenatal depression, which is actually depression that can be felt before childbirth. And I battled with this. I'll definitely share my testimony later, but my labor was long, 36 hours of labor, 5 hours of me trying to push, trying to suction that boy out, but nothing. And so when the doctors told us that I would have to have an emergency cesarean, I remember the look on my son's father's face was that of doom, because for months I have been telling him, I don't think I'm going to make it out. It wasn't even that I feared childbirth. I just didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel afterward. I couldn't picture myself with him and our son together. So when she said that, it was just like, okay, well, this is it, right? But thank God. So antenatal depression, I think a lot of women are surprised. And I think, like, am I tripping? Am I this? No, it is a real thing. Another thing that some women experience is the baby blues, and it's feeling sad or depressed after giving birth. The way you can differentiate between the two is the time period. It usually lasts about 14 days before you get some relief. So, what are the signs of postpartum depression? And of course, this list is just a couple, not an exhaustive list, but these are some of the signs that you typically see. The first is isolation. I know for me, I stopped going to church, stopped hanging out with friends. I didn't want to go out. But at the same time, I was resentful, that my friends were still going out. My son's dad was able to still go out and I couldn't. Now, my sisters, yes, I'm going to tell it, left me to go to Vegas on our annual girls trip. Like, you supposed to stay home with me. But no. So definitely feeling like, I'm missing out on something. I was angry at times, sad, crying for no reason. Um, just feeling like things would not get better, feeling like I was not worthy of being a mother. Even though I wanted it, I prayed for this, um, feeling hopeless. I think definitely the pit for me was my suicidal ideation, and when I was actually taking steps towards that, it was like, if God hadn't have intervened, I don't know, I wouldn't be here. That's pretty much the truth. I'll go into that later, but definitely feeling hopeless was a big sign for me. And I'm going to go a little bit into depth of what does that look like. The sadness and the hopeless is crying, thoughts of suicide, feeling ashamed, isolation, no interest in hobbies or spending time with family and friends. Again, that anger, resentment, lashing out, fear of missing out, and regretting becoming a parent. So we've shared the 5 signs, which again is just a couple of them. But I also want to share with you 3 ways to overcome, 3 things that helped me. The first thing is seek professional help. This was not a route that I took, which in hindsight I wish that I would have, because I feel like I would not have battled it for so long. I remember I did reach out to my doctor. I emailed him like, hey, I think I'm having postpartum. They referred me to behavioral health. I was able to call and make an appointment, but I could never work up the courage to go. I felt like ashamed, like they're going to take my baby from me, like I'm not going to be seen as a fit mom, and I just didn't want to get those people involved, right? So I didn't. But I definitely think that it's something that you should look into. I think times are changing now. The stigma is not as bad. Um, I know some people who have been able to get postpartum depression, and it was in a group setting at the clinic. So definitely, see what options you have with that. Journaling and prayer saved my life. Like writing literally saved my life, y'all. My book, Postpartum Promises, is based mostly off journal entries. I literally have a journal entry or 2 in here sharing my story. But being able to go back and to reflect and see how far God brought me, to see, how some days I was just a mess. I think I wrote in there about my son crying like all day long and how I felt. And just being able to see, the strength in that it's a beautiful thing. So definitely journal, definitely pray. Speaking to family and friends was big for me. I feel like that's what catapulted me into this coaching and writing books. Was talking to family and friends, because every time I mention postpartum, somebody tells me either they had it or they know somebody who's had it. So you're definitely not alone. And for me, speaking to my best friend, her son is a little bit older than mine, but she told me that she had been, going through seeing a therapist and, feeling the same ways that I was feeling, but you never would know, because we suffer in silence, especially as women, especially as Black women. We have to be strong. We have to be that superwoman. And in this case, it's not it's not possible. We need help, right? And so I think definitely speaking to trusted family members and friends is key. All right, so that was short and brief, just a mini introduction. I'm definitely going to go in more depth on the channel, so make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and like this video. So your next steps, if you found this webinar to be helpful, you are going to love my book. Again, it's called Postpartum Promises, A Mother's Guide to Identifying and Overcoming Postpartum Depression. And this book goes into depth about the emotions felt when battling depression. It's full of exercises like this one, space to journal, uh, motivational quotes, scriptures that you can stand on during your battle, and help you overcome. This book is a great tool and resource that I provide. So that's step 1. Next, I want to announce that the doors to my coaching program will be opening this fall. I'm going to be working with a group of mothers to help them refocus and reflect so they can move forward in life while embracing motherhood. But in the meantime, sign up for my email list so that you can get exclusive discounts. I'll also send you my postpartum playbook, which is a mini version of my book, I would say. It's full of a couple of exercises that you can do to help you as you go through this. And lastly, keep in touch with your girl. If you found this helpful, follow me on Instagram, coach_passion. Facebook, I'm having a Facebook group. It's going to be called the Postpartum Club. You can search it now and send a link or request to join, and I'll add you. Then also send me an email if you have questions, if you want me to help you find resources. I am here. I feel like God has given me this mantle, and I am finally picking it up and running with it. I'm very excited. So email me at hello@passion-king.com. I know that was kind of long. So again, hello@passion-king.com. Make sure you got the book. It's on sale right now, really, really cheap on Amazon. If you go to Instagram and follow me there, you can also click the link in my bio. The very last option, it's only 4, but the very last one is a link to purchase the book directly. So I hope that this helped you. Again, please like, subscribe, and follow, and I'll be in touch with you soon.